Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my Let's Play Minecraft on Mondays. And as you can see here, this strange thing happened. After the latest update in Minecraft, my Sphax PureBDCraft kind of went screwy, and I had to reinstall it, and I ended up having to switch from the 512 by 512 resolution down to the 128 by 128. The other ones just wouldn't work for me, so if anyone else has had problems with that and has found a solution, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you recall from my last episode, I sort of died down in the caverns below the house. Oh yeah, and here you can see there's a skeleton outside the house right now, and I just kind of skipped past because all I did was stay inside the house and wait for the monsters to go away. Primarily because since I died, I have no weapons, I have no equipment, nothing. Everything is down in the mine still, and you just saw that kind of red thing kind of go past. Turns out that is, if you slow down the video a little bit, you'll see it's actually the skeleton. And for some reason, once the daylight's out, the skeleton has this sort of big red no patch blocks all over him. It's kind of also weird, but definitely still having some issues with this texture pack, but I like it enough, and at the 128 by 128 it's still okay to play. Most everything still looks pretty good. I'm hoping a patch comes out pretty soon for this, but right now I wasn't able to find one. At any rate, here, there's one other glitch you can see going forward here. You can see these stone blocks down here, and they have this weird thing going on with them, where it looks almost like there's gems or something on them, but they're actually little tiny, you can see the purple portal and some flames going on there. And it's the same pattern for all of them, so it's just really, really weird. But anyway, one of the big things I was doing was basically I went off and did a lot of gathering of wood so that I would have some material so I could do some things. And I was starting to clear out some grass and stuff there, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to flatten out the entire top of my mountain behind my house for farming and stuff. And as I was going across the top of my mountain, I noticed this hopping thing in the background. You can kind of see it in the background. It just went off screen right now, but you can see way in the back there's this big green block that's just kind of hopping up and down. And I'm sure those of you who have been playing Minecraft for a long time will know that, yes, that is a slime. Is it a slime? I think that's... They drop slime balls, so there's just big blocks of slime, right? But I didn't know this at the time that I went to investigate. I was like, why is there a big green block hopping up and down? I thought it was maybe another glitch or something. And considering all the glitches that you just saw, you know, that was not necessarily an unreasonable assumption. However, I quickly figured out that they were definitely hostile. And I'm like, oh, okay, and they break into smaller pieces when you hit them and such, so I was like, uh-oh. And considering I had recently died, I haven't had a chance to go back down into the mines to gather up my stuff because I don't have armor at the moment, and such, so I was like, oh, maybe I need to be careful with this, and I see more of them hopping up here, and I'm like, okay, I better get the heck out of here. The sun's going down anyway, so that's what I'm doing, is basically swimming back to my little island with, well, not really an island, but my little hill with the house on top. Or house on top of the hill, if you will. And I also noticed that there was some sugarcane over here, so I figured I'd start gathering that a little bit. I'd grow some sugarcane as well. Certainly could be useful. One of the things I think would be nice would be to have a map, and so I need to build a compass, and the sugarcane will help me create paper so that I can actually have a map. That would be nice. Alrighty. So now, since there's monsters and such all around, I was just avoiding a spider, and there's another skeleton guy down there, and nope, there's a spider. He found me still. Thankfully, I was able to get rid of him without much fuss there. But now I'm gonna just kind of safely stay in the house, and yes, you probably noticed another transition there. And also, I'm hungry. Thankfully, I gathered a couple of apples while I was out gathering wood. So you can see here I've got a whole bunch of things now. I finally got some iron. I also did some mining and things very carefully down in the mines. I've been going down in the mines at night while the monsters are out and about on the surface during the evening, and then during the day I've been avoiding the mines entirely because I just don't want to take any chances until I have a chance to go back, because in my experience, if you die and you go back, you can find your stuff that you dropped. But then if you die again, whatever stuff you dropped before is gone. And anyone who's listening to this still could probably correct me and tell me if I'm wrong, but that's been my experience so far. Oh yeah, here you can see yet another part of the glitch behind on the water. It says no patch. So it's saying that there's no patch installed, but I'm not sure what patch I'm supposed to install to help fix some of these visual problems. So again, and if anyone has encountered this before, I have no mods installed whatsoever. I have a skin for my character and the Sphax PureBDCraft, and that's it. There's no mods or anything else. So I'm not entirely sure why all of this is going on. I was checking to see if the Enderman's still back there, because there was an Enderman earlier, and I'm like, okay, I don't see the Enderman, so I think I'm fine. But I just used up my one pickaxe that I had, so I'm going back upstairs to create another pickaxe, since I'm not that far from the house. One of these days I want to put in a whole, like, nice wood stairs all the way down into the cavern. I think that might be nice. Same with the front of the house. I want to have a series of stairs all the way down to the fields below. But one thing at a time. There, so now I have a steel axe or iron axe, so that'll last me a little bit longer. And decided, instead of going all the way back down to where I was mining earlier, it's like, you know, I wasn't really getting anywhere, so I'm just going to go ahead and try mining over here. Not to mention a little bit of remodeling with where the blocks are up towards the house. So anyway, I was just doing a bunch of mining there and stuff, and nothing really interesting. So I decided to skip ahead here. Now I am prepping the land by my house for farming. So one of the things that I have been wanting to do, I would like to get myself a nice set of cows going so that I can have a steady supply of leather and steaks and milk. So that's going to be my first animals that I will start with my farm, but before I can do that, I need to grow some wheat. And here you can see I gathered a bunch of seeds earlier when I was out gathering wood, but now there's a bunch of grass here that I need to clear out of the way anyway, so I might as well gather up those seeds as well. So, and then I'm kind of a little bit on the anal side about having a nice, clean, rectangular area to put my farm in, or my wheat field in. And so here you can see I'm kind of filling in the gaps here so that I can have a nice rectangular spot. It's you know, you can blame the German in me. I like things to be nice and neat and organized. Yeah, I'm just kind of filling in all the way up to the house here so that when I put my fencing down and things, I'll be able to walk still around where I put the fence. Alright, so here you can see I already built some fencing earlier, and I've got about 20 pieces. And as I put them down, ultimately I realized I still need a few more. But here we're just going to go ahead and start putting in the 20. And I'm kind of lining it up with the house just so that I can have a nice large footprint, but I don't need fencing on one side because the house will be sort of acting as a fence for one side of the house, one side of the field. So that'll work pretty nicely. And here you can see I'm already realizing I'm running out of fence. I'm like, oh, oops. Alrighty, so that's almost done, and then I can actually start putting in, plowing my field, so to speak, and planting my seeds so that I can get some wheat. And eventually, when I get more iron, I will definitely build a bucket or two, and so that I can haul up some water up here. But this area gets quite a bit of rain, so I'm not too worried about the crops not growing. I think I'll have enough water from the rain, but I'm not going to take any chances. I will eventually put water in as well. I need to kind of observe which patches grow better than others, and the areas where the patches for the wheat don't grow as well, I can go ahead and then put water closer to those so they can grow a little faster. So I'm kind of like taking my time on this. Plus, I actually don't have enough iron yet to build a bucket. Perhaps if I can eventually go back down and gather up all the lost materials I have, like my diamonds and other things, maybe I can go ahead and and I'm missing one more segment here. But then I can go ahead and do a whole bunch more things. And, please correct me if I'm wrong in assuming that I can, that I as long as I don't die again, I should be able to go back and find the things that I lost in the caverns, right? I'm hoping so. Anyway, so here you can see I'm also making a gate for my fence, because I figured, oh, wait a minute, I can't jump over the darn thing, and if I can't jump over it, then the only way to get in and out is by destroying a fence piece and then not. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, I should be able to put a gate in here, right? So I went out to the Minecraft wiki and looked up, how do I make a gate? Minecraft wiki is your friend, let me tell you. I'd say 95% of everything I've learned so far about the game is everything I've read about is either in Minecraft wiki or people leaving me helpful comments below in my videos. So for those of you who've left helpful comments, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Alright, there's my gate. Yay! And it works. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go ahead, and you can see, like I said, this area gets lots of rain, and it's raining. So I'm going to go ahead and plow my first little strip of field here. Oops, and I meant to go to inventory for that. Alright, so here is my first little planting. You can see, I know that the ground that's darker is either wetter or it's not fertilized, so they don't have bone meal or anything on the ground. But I'm guessing it's wetter than the other soil, and therefore the crops will grow better on it. It's either wetter or just better, either way, soil. And so I've got to kind of keep my eye on that, and perhaps with the soil that isn't looking quite as good, that's the soil that needs to be closer to some water sources. So that's where I need a bucket so that I can haul some water up here and kind of dig a couple of holes and put some water in as a source for the planting. But for now, this should do. Like I said, it rains plenty in this area, so these crops should not be lacking for water. Alright, and the last step here that I'm going to do is put in some torches. I read that torches help the crops to grow even overnight. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that they have a light source. And you can just kind of see kind of a view from the outside here and look at one of the crops is already grown a little bit. That's pretty darn quick, to be perfectly honest. So here's my torches coming down, and then this is pretty much where I'm going to wrap things up for this episode. Thanks for joining me. Until next week, bye-bye.